time to review another thing that I won in a competition from Arbitrary Hero. You people really need to enter, so I'm not the only one winning all the time. Which will kind of backfire on me, but still. So we're going to review Studio Series War for Cybertron, Gamer Edition, whatever it is, Voyager Ironhide. And here he is. And he's got all the weapons stored on him. He's got a giant axe stored on the top. There are tab here, big flat tab here. I'm going to do, I think, slot here, slot there. Okay? We'll worry about this more for robot mode. And on the back, kind of reminds me of a Studio Series, what was his name? Sideways? We got the weapon, two little holes here, two big pegs. Worry about that in robot mode. But here he is in his base vehicle mode, and maybe do with a little lick of paint just to have more of like the glowy effects. But I believe this is somewhat similar to the game model. But I remember on a live stream we saw this, and I said something somewhat harsh. I was like, oh look, it's Big Cliff Jumper. And I kind of stand by it. He does very much just look like Cliff Jumper. Sorry, he does. But at the same time, if you just kind of got like his original van, made it a bit more Cybertronian and just kind of squished it down a little bit, it would kind of look like this. So I'll let him off. Size comparison. Studio Series 86 Blur. So as much as it does just look like Cliff Jumper, you got to think, hang on, actually, he's a bit of a chunk, isn't he? Yeah, he kind of is. He's kind of a nice solid brick. Like, he feels quite solid. Once you get everything tabbed in, he's nice and solid. I like it. Didn't think I was going to. I'm not trying to be rude. Arbitrary Hero, Cameron, bless him. It was free. I was going to take it, but I kind of like it more than I thought I would. I haven't got many Ironhides, or at least a G1 Ironhide. So transform it, and I'm going to do this as a weird way. I'm just going to do it the way I like to do it. So you see these pieces with the two tabs. These are two separate pieces, but they're tabbed together. So what you need to do is, if we can loosen these up a little bit, see if I can wiggle these up a little bit, I can get them to come off and untab from under this piece. So I can get those off, and I can hinge them all the way back to about there. Okay? Okay. How messy do I want to make this? Let's screw this and make it messy. We're going to get this front piece, and we're going to put a thumb there, and we're going to try and wriggle this loose and this loose. I'm going to bring pretty much the front of the car up on this grey double hinge apparatus. There, it's done. What do you think? Alright. Oh, look, his little head's poking out. Looks like he's driving himself. Like the old Turtles used to do. The old Turtles transformed into cars and stuff. I think I found one of those. Anyway, we're going to go underneath and we're going to get these pieces and we're going to untab them from these tabs here. Go to holes there and there. And these are tabbed together, which we will undo soon. Okay. Messy enough for you? Right. We're going to get these pieces and rotate them down on each side. Then we get these pieces and we're going to untab and rotate it out. Okay, so untab and rotate out. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to fold this whole front piece here on a hinge back there, rotate it down, so this black piece comes out of this grey cavity. And then we're going to rotate on that pin there to bring these forward. So we've got that. Okie dokie. See, I'm making this potentially more complicated than it needs to be, but it's a nice clean transformation. If you reverse this, it holds together very well. If you'd undo it the other way, like the way I was shown, these hand panels, when they lock into this, they don't go straight. I'm doing it a bit more, finicky, but for a reason. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come under here, and we're going to get this grey piece. I'm going to untab it, and bring it all the way out to the side. There's that little slot there, a little tab there. We're then going to straighten this out, and this will go into there and lock into place. Bring that up, rotate this so it goes the opposite way to where it was, so we want this at the front. Turn here. That's basically an arm. So bring this out, bring it out, lock it together, turn it so that the tab that was on there, sorry, the slot that was on that tab goes to the front, rotate it down, turn, there we go. To finish the arms, what we're going to do is we're going to get these pieces, and they're on a hinge and a ball, so it's technically a double hinge. We'll bring it around, and we're just going to swing it and fiddle it until it drops over these bits with the tab, slot, bring it around, rotate it over the top, and those are the arms done. Okay, now I think before we carry on with any of this, we're going to have to do the back half because it's going to get in the way. Okay, so now we basically just want to split the entire thing all the way down to here, all the way, including this bit here, untap the whole thing, rotate it out. We need to get this past there. It catches a little bit, you can just sort of wriggle it around and lock that into place. Same here, this will untab, it will move. There's a little tab there that goes into a little slot there. Just do that, get it around and lock into place. So we come to here, and these should still be up out of the way. What we need to do is we rotate this bit that is untabbed from there, hopefully. So untab it, rotate it down. And then this bit, which should be pushed all the way back, because it was that for the vehicle mode, we're now pushing it all the way back. And we want to use this double hinge to wriggle this and get it as far into this cavity as we can. Okay, and does it tab in? Looks like it should tab in, but I don't think it does tab in. I think it just stays there. And you'll know you've done it right because these two tabs here go into these slots here. So we line it up, wriggle it around a little bit, and come on. Wow, you have to do it. There we go. Get those tabbed in. Okay. And then rotate it around to the wheels on the outside. Same again on this side, but we've already seen it, so I'm going to put that flat, untab that, rotate it down, double hingy thing, get this all the way in, close this down, line that up a bit. Come on. Come on. There we go. Turn it around. Now we turn around at the waist. Okay, and then we just bring all this down and it will just lock into place. There we go. And that is pretty much him done, except for the backpack. The backpack is, we get this bit and we fold it in, and we get this bit and we fold it in. And then you have this tab and this slot, come on, this slot and that slot. And you just rotate them over, line them up, come on, and tap them in. And that is Studio Series, Wolf Cybertron, whatever it is, Gamer Edition, blah blah blah, Ironhide in his robot mode. Let's rotate the camera up slightly. I know that the transformation seems complicated, and it does seem complicated, but once you've done it a couple of times, you can do it with your eyes closed. It's honestly not that difficult. It's just I've got to explain it to you step by step. That's why it took ages. Okay? But transforming it easily, it's not that difficult at all. Especially if you reverse from what I did, Because if you do it the other way, like do the front half, then you do the back half, and you try and mash it together, these will get caught and they won't line up straight, and it's a big deal. But here he is. Universal joint in the shoulder. These can get a little bit limited, but honestly, as long as you aren't like, no, they must cover the shoulder perfectly at all times, as long as you aren't that bothered about it, they work fine. The elbows will go backs. Well, they'll go back about as far as they'll go forward. Do I care? Not really. This wrist was really, really loose, so I ended up just putting a little dab of super glue in there and moving it around. Now it works fine. Waist swivel hinges at the universal hinge at the knee. Hips. Swivel for the transformation. Almost 90-degree hip. Knee. Wow, I can't talk today. And ankle tilt. And I guess a little bit of toe if you really, really want. And the head, I think it might be on a ball joint, or it might just be on a swivel, I don't know. But it does turn. And what a nice little Ironhide noodle. It's a young Ironhide, but it's a pretty Ironhide, I can't argue. You know what? I actually really like this. As far as Ironhides go, this is actually really nice. Backpack, not that bad. Honestly, not that bad. Especially when you consider that it's practical. And that comes into the weapons. So, for one slight little drawback, to get the knees, the legs straight, it kind of feels like the knee's been pushed in. Like there's no real knee, it's just all shin. Kind of wish there was a knee. Because I kind of like to have the leg a bit more like that, because it looks not as bad. But then the foot, because there's no forward-backward tilt, it's me being petty. Anyway, weapons. So we get the axe. And you go, okay, let's put the... Oh, wait, no, you can't. So what you got to do, you got to take it apart. Shove the axe through. Come on. Wow, line this up through the camera. Through. Stick that on top. Did Ironhide have a giant axe in the game? Maybe? I honestly don't remember. I've played it, but I don't remember at all. And you get the gun. And it has got a peg, so you can plug it into the hand. And that looks really, really stupid. But you're supposed to do what this series of toys is made for. So what you do is you actually pop the arm off. And plug the gun on. Wow, come on. There you go. And it looks alright. But most of the figures, from what I can tell, the arms just sort of stick on the back or something. They look really bad. But this, same with Ratchet, it's Moldmate. You actually open this up, and if you can get this to drop onto there, it will. Come on. That's what I get for not really doing this properly. There we go. It does actually peg into the back, and you can close this over the top. If you can line it up properly. And hide the arm on the back, so you can pretend that the arm is actually transformed into the gun, if you like. Now you might think, why has he got a giant axe and a sniper rifle? It's not really a good mix of weapons, is it? Well, I like to think, and this is my headcanon, like when I was younger and I was forced to do any kind of stealth mission in any kind of game, it's a case of, right, well, I'll walk up, I'll take a couple of random pot shots, kill that guy. Killed that guy. Oh, I missed and set off the alarm. Shame, shame. Let's go kill them all with my giant axe. I hate stealth missions. So, in that regard, it kind of tickles me that he's just going to have a couple of pot shots and go, oh, well, better go and kill him with my axe then. Oh, Ironhide, you are a one. So, yeah, you know what? I actually really like him. And he kind of makes me want to get more of this line so I can give him a different gun. which I don't think anyone wants these toys. I don't think anyone likes these figures, but for some reason he has actually piqued my interest. The whole arm swappy thing I didn't like. And I probably won't like on any other figure. I've been spoiled with him because you can hide it. So now I want more. So if anyone wants to send one my way or, donate, they're going cheap at the minute, I think. I saw the side swipe for like 15 quid on In Demand, something like that. I don't know. But I'm going to scarp it. So thanks again to Arbitrary Hero. I understand why you were quite happy to rehome him. But you know what? I'm actually getting a kick out of him. I actually really like him. So thank you very much. And I'm going to scarp it. So I should be ugly. I should be wretched. And I shall see all of you in the next one. When I rip my arm off and replace it with a shotgun. Now that's Evil Dead, isn't it? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.